Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am so thrilled to have you join us today. We've dedicated to exploring the idea with this podcast of doing business in life with a servant's heart. When you do that, you can truly make a difference in your world. We also created the show to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you to make that impact and difference in your world. My incredible guest today, I'm going to get into something I've not really talked about a lot or know a lot about. So I love learning in my podcast. We're going to learn a lot today. So get your pad and paper out and we'll take some notes. But here's your call to action today. Think about how you're going to serve yourself and others today and what impact you create today. I say that because a lot of people still come and go, I heard you say it, Steve. I didn't do it, and a month went by. Well, I told them to start doing it then. But after you listen to this incredible show, I want you to go ahead and start serving, because I know you'll be happy. It's like Christmas every day. And we all love Christmas. And today's episode is proudly sponsored by our incredible partner, Pantheon Alliance. Would you like to be part of an exclusive community of high-income, successful business owners and entrepreneurs from very diverse industries? Together, they're building a thought leader platform to impact and change the world. For more information about Pantheon Alliance, reach out to me and I'll get you all the information. Check out the show notes. With that being said, I'm not a big music guy, but I think I'm going to be a much better music guy. And I'm not big on mystical. I need to learn about this. So my guest is going to inspire you, educate you, and motivate you how to make your life better. And again, like I said in the beginning, truly make a difference. Michele, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve. I'm really thrilled to be here.
Let's jump in. Mystical teacher. Like you said before the show, I've not heard that before. And I meet hundreds of people a month. Talk about what you do and what it's all about.
Well, what I do now, I mean, I was a rock singer in Australia. I had great record company and doing videos, and I've been a professional singer since I was 5 on TV.
Wow.
And so I had a near fatal car accident, and that changed the trajectory of what I did with my life, because I had no intention of ever doing anything else but writing songs and being a rock singer. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it changed my life. I discovered through being in the hospital and being in so much pain about affirmations, but the affirmations didn't work for me because your doubting mind spits it out. If what you're feeling and seeing isn't in synergy with the new positive thought, you know, the affirmation has to be stated in the now, and they say it has to be personalized, has to be emotionalized. And I couldn't do that because the doctors are coming in and saying, if you do ever walk again, if you do, you know, and there was so many long operations. But I had what I call a spiritual epiphany. I realized that I'm a songwriter. I've even written jingles for extra money over the years. You can't get a jingle or a song out of your head, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And
True.
so I started singing and writing affirmation pop songs. And because of that, the press found out all about I had miraculous healing. And through doing these just for myself, not thinking of other people or anything like that. And then after the journalists came, then promoters came and they said, we want you to tour the world with Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor, all these people. We love what you're doing. No one's ever done it before. And so I was doing that for years. And because I was having so much success, I mean, one night we had 50,000 people come to one of my shows. and everyone's
Wow.
singing along to the affirmations. And I was running Bob Proctor's business from Kuala Lumpur, and I was still getting hit records after hit records. Nothing could stop it. But I decided to stop it from being on that treadmill of success, even though I was working all over the world and had great wealth and great success. And I was assisting a lot of people in a simple way, just through music, because the lyrics, the affirmations go into the left side of the brain, the melody and the music, the right side, it goes into your subconscious mind 300 times faster than any other method for putting a positive thought into your head. It's faster than visualization or anything else, because your doubting mind doesn't have a chance to reject the new positive affirmation. And so millions upon millions of people all over the world have downloaded and bought my affirmation music. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I worked with Bob Proctor for 7 years straight, and he ended up writing a couple of albums with me as well, because he just loved it. But what I was searching for, I used to have this heart glow, and I wanted to know what that was, because as you become more happier and happier and healthier, and your vibration is a frequency and it's a speed, and all this has been proven now with science, through neuroscience. It's just amazing what they've been able to prove, that we talked about back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, but there wasn't any scientific proof about affirmations in the mind and how our thoughts create our reality. So, but they've got proof now, so, which is wonderful. So people don't have to boo-hoo it and say, what are you talking with all this Woodstock woo-woo nonsense?
Well, what's the journey look like? Somebody buys your album or gets these affirmation songs. What's their next steps?
Well, I think it's a really good first step, because of the fact that you don't have to do anything. Right. And we've got apps, and what I call a manifestation video app. So it's got all the images, and it's got my audio, and it's got a rock positive images song at the end of each chapter. It's called Manifestation Through Mysticism video book, and no one had ever done a video book like that before. And so now I've got my other friends of mine that are best-selling authors that are saying, this is the only way to go. We're not going to just do normal audio books anymore. So people can get a good visual and learn about all these different things to do with mysticism and meditation and what the law of attraction really is, and go deeper into why they have fear and how to release it. Because most people don't, they're told, if you just do this, you can change. But I think it's really important that you keep it simple, keep it simple and spiritual, because we are all spiritual beings. And when people can learn how they can get out of their ego, and people don't realize that when they're feeling depressed and they're just thinking about me, that's actually taking them down a rabbit hole that's very, very hard to climb out of. And I teach them how to be of service to other people, and how that can get people out of depression, and how this has been proven scientifically as well. When people they did a test where all these people had severe, deep depression, and they got all these people to do all of these acts of kindness and for homeless and for vets and everything over a 2-week period. And 90% of them, their depression was released forever without medication.
Now, that's powerful. Wow. Is this something somebody will do on the daily basis as a habit, or when trauma hits, depression hits, whatever that may be, they jump on your songs?
Yeah, well, I just say to them, if you cannot get out of that rabbit hole, just watch these videos or just listen to this music and let that come up, and then clean your place. Because if everything's chaotic around you, your mind is chaotic, and it's very, very challenging to get clarity and to have focus, which is required if you want to get out of depression or you want to become wealthy and successful. You have to get out of that vibration. And of course, exercise. I always recommend every day people exercise. I don't care if it's just doing a bit of disco dancing, showing my age here, disco dancing.
I understand. So I'm showing my age too. I'm with you.
Bit of Casey in the Sunshine Band.
Yeah, amen. I love that.
James Brown. Just to get yourself out of that funk, and then
Yeah.
every day do something to make somebody else happy, whether it's tithing to your local community to help the poor, or giving food, or just sending a funny cat video to someone you think it'll cheer them up. Every day, making sure you do something else. Do something for yourself, for your environment, for your home, making your wardrobe clean, making everything zen, as throwing away rubbish that you don't wear anymore. Stop being any sort of hoarding whatsoever. And that is so amazing how quickly that will clear somebody's mind so that they can start being focused, because it's so hard if people wash up the dish, make your bed immediately. Don't, procrastinate, because I think a lot of people got into bad habits during the lockdown, which I thought the opposite would happen. You'd want to clean out your
because you're home.
environment.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good point. Never thought of it that way. Powerful message. I'm loving this. I knew I would once you mentioned it. I've never done this on a podcast, so I'm just going to get crazy. Can you sing us like 30, 20 seconds of a song that give us an example what one of those songs might sound like?
Yeah. If you want to just talk for a minute, I'll just find the backing music.
So, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because with the audience, did you hear what she said? Every day, like I said in my monologue, find a way to serve somebody, find a way to make a difference and impact somebody's life. And like she said, it could be a little as sending a cat video or a baby laughing. I like doing that. Send a video of a baby laughing. It's so powerful. And you give somebody joy for 30 seconds, that could change somebody's life. And maybe it doesn't, but it changes the universe. That's what I love, which is the spiritual side. The universe loves when we take care of people and serve them.
Okay.
And the other thing is affirmations. I love that. And people you're right, they don't stick to them. And you're right, songs, it's what the commercials are built on, these songs. Progressive. I mean, think of the song they're part of. It's powerful.
You want a slow one or a fast one?
You pick it.
Okay. I'll do a slow one. I think this is a really nice one too. Og Mandino was a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
And I wrote this song based on his scrolls.
Yeah.
And it's called Greet the Day with Love in Your Heart. I just want to make sure you can hear the music. Can you hear it?
Yep.
I'm not really warmed up, but I'll try. Am living this day as if it was my last, for I greet this day with love in my heart. That's just a little bit of that song.
That is so cool.
But there's lots of rock ones and pop ones, and there's 400 different types, and I've got them for kids as well. And speaking of children's laughter, Steve, I actually have what I call children's laughter meditation, which is just got all babies and children laughing. And
there you go.
I went into the studio with all my friends and to get real sincere laughing and babies laughing, and with the adults, I'd bring in something and say, who farted, on a note to make them all laugh.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Because Australians are very irreverent. We love bathroom humor.
I'm with you. I should be Australian then. Let's jump into your book, and you got a great free gift for our audience as well.
Yeah.
Talk about your book that you've had. It's been out or it's coming out?
It's just out last week.
Look at that.
Stop thought. Because meditation is all about stopping thought. You don't have to be religious to get great benefits from meditation practice. I went off the grid, Steve, for 10 years and worked with an enlightened teacher until I actually had an awakening as well. And now I teach it. And it slows down your heart rate is better. It slows down, it fastens the metabolism, but it also brings great, amazing health benefits, meditation. And a lot of my students are actually doctors, because they have been told now that it's important to, especially with heart people, anyone who's overweight or, and they've really been tremendously not easy. It's been hard for them to breathe, to teach them how to breathe properly, because breathing and breath is part of meditation practice. And so I wrote, this book is 14 years of my teachings, transcribed, and everything that I ever went through, every spiritual experience. I don't want anyone to say, oh my God, I just had that experience. I wonder if I can Google it, because a lot of spiritual teachers don't share. They like to keep it, come to me and pay me a few $1,000s and I might tell you the secret, or come to this ashram. And I don't care, I'm not knocking what they do, but I think it should be free for everybody to have, well, just the price of a book. It's practically free. I think it's important for people, because people don't realize that they are here on this planet for mysticism, for awakening. Their soul is here for a purpose. And when you start getting into meditation and more positive thinking, your whole life changes 360 degrees, and opportunities for doing good in the world. And you want to do good in the world. It's something that takes away a selfish gene that everybody has. It takes away that selfish gene. And one of the things it does is it opens your heart so that you have compassion. And one of the things that I will not tolerate is anyone suffering. Anyone. Amen. Whatever my teaching or I can do or give or gift in any way. And that's what I teach all my students from all over the world, from all walks of life, and celebrities, a lot of different people, because it's beyond yoga. It is something that changes your life. Meditation practice changes your life. And it's one of the things that I think is the most important thing to teach in the world. And if you want to, I just think it's important that you find someone who really has awakened, because you don't want to go to a piano teacher who can't play piano, right, Steve?
Right. No.
So yeah, I've been teaching now for, I've been teaching since, for 40 years.
Many years, yeah.
Yeah, 40 years. But I've been teaching this for 15 years full on, and since my awakening. So I love it. I love, one of the things about lockdown that we can do right now, because we're doing this together, is Zoom meetings and podcasts, and you don't have to go, because people used to fly in from all over the world to see me, and then all of a sudden we couldn't do that. So we set up a big studio and we have Zoom meetings with people from all over the world, and it's just powerful. Unbelievably happy.
Yeah, and it's a Zoom works. I know everybody wants to do in person, but if that's the only thing you can do, and you can help more people that way. Yeah. I've got a selfish question. When you say you're off the grid, go deeper into that. I mean, were you literally making your own food and living in a camp? I mean,
no, I mean off the social grid.
Oh, social. Okay, that's what I kind of thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I went off. I had huge Facebook, social, all that stuff, and I took everything down, went everything off, stopped doing all my seminars and singing events, and studied with this teacher for 10 years in many different countries. Her students, we would just follow, and she's an American. She was 10 years younger than me. I couldn't believe it. I searched for 14 years. I went to 26 different countries whenever I heard about an enlightened teacher was around, and then they're not enlightened. They're not enlightened. Yeah. They're nice people, and they love God, and they're very religious. But I'm not religious per se. I adore the eternal in every single person I see. That's what I connect with, the divine presence in each person, because that is what animates everybody's being. And I don't think any religion, I think every religion eventually leads to Rome, to your higher self, to God's self. But I don't believe there's any one religion that can do it. I believe that there's like Saint Teresa of Avila said, there's an interior castle, and you can come through many, many doors into this interior castle to find yourself, to find your God self. And once you've found that, you will just naturally want to help, this is why I was really wanted to be on your podcast, because that's what it's all about, is being a servant to your higher self as well, and following that intuition. And so meditation clears up what I call your diamond. You've got this higher self, metaphorically, this diamond, and it's coated with all the experiences that you've had in your life that hold you back, so that you start having so many fears about what you're not going to get that you want, or what you're going to lose that you have. Instead of looking at the big picture, people are living in a little prison of their own minds. And it's not that hard to break out of the prison. It's hard, sure, but it's not impossible. You
Good
can
point.
do
No,
it.
it's and people have done it. You've done it, and I've got to say, we're coming to the end here, but I've got to commend you. You're such a blessing, because you took 24 years, 14 to find, and 10 years to teach educate yourself, or whatever word you want to use, to be this enlightened. You care about people, because how many people I know, zero, that would take 10 years to be better at what they do. Nothing wrong with anybody else who spent a year or two, but as I always say in service, go far above and beyond. You can serve here, but you did this went the next level up, just to make sure you could take care of and make sure nobody's hurting in the world. So God bless you. Thank you so much for being such an incredible guest.
Thank you, Steve. And everyone, if you go to micheleblood.com/doing business, you will get my Affirmation Power audiobook absolutely free. And it's got songs in it and affirmations that you can repeat. And it really teaches you in a very simple way what affirmations do, and a little bit about my journey as well, and what happened, and just giving you a lot of tools for you to, climb that mountain today.
Well, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'm downloading it, because I'm super excited to hear it. Again, I'm not a music guy. I was called tone deaf, but I know music makes an impact for everybody, from somebody like me to people that love music, and my wife loves music. I want to end real quick with a quick improv. So you have a reservation at a restaurant. It's four chairs. You sit in one of the chairs, obviously, and the other three chairs, dead or alive, who would you invite? Why would you invite them? And what food would you order?
Oh, Swami Muktananda, Saint Teresa of Avila, and Yogananda.
Look at you.
Definitely. Because those three enlightened teachers, their books and their teachings would just, I read them every year. And it really taught me, because I was brought up a Catholic, and I was like a ridiculous Catholic. As a little girl, I'm 6 years old. I go to mass every day with the nuns, every day.
Wow.
So I was always in love with God, but I just thought Jesus was the only God that there was. I didn't know that there was, I know the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. So that awakened me to the fact that enlightenment isn't just, their true life biography of what happened to them, and all Yogananda, millions upon millions of people globally. Steve Jobs was read it every month, autobiography of a yogi. And so many successful people followed these people who were enlightened teachers. So, and what I would order what they ate, what they ordered. I want to eat exactly what they were eating, because when you eat the same thing as an enlightened teacher eats, it's called prasad, and you have a blessing.
Look at that. My improv even taught me a lesson, and you, the audience, a lesson. I love it. And is the website the best place for people if they want to connect with you, besides getting the free book?
Yeah,
okay, great.
They just go to Michele Blood with one L, MICHELEBLOOD /doing business. And no, Blood is not a punk name or a rock and roll name. It is an Irish name.
Yep. I've heard it a few times. So you're absolutely right. Again, I want to thank you so much. This is, we've been blessed, absolutely blessed. And audience, as I always say, your call to action, subscribe to the YouTube channel, not for subscribers. I care about them, but that's not why I'm asking. Is if you need somebody, if you know somebody or yourself needs enlightenment, go to this link in the YouTube, because it'll be on YouTube right away, and share it with others. Share it with yourself. Grab the free ebook. That's what people don't understand with the podcast. That's what you can serve others. I'm not saying everyone on my podcast, but this one resonates with you. Go to your cousin and give it to her. Hey, listen to Michele for 20 minutes, and you're going to change your life. Who wouldn't want to do that? I know I would. So take advantage of that. And if you want to comment on the YouTube channel, I'll get any information and any comments to Michele. And if there are critique for the podcast, hey, me and Michele know this podcast is for you, the audience. Any way we can make it better, I'd be happy to do that. And as always, me and Michele want to thank you all for watching or listening to this podcast. We'll see you in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. God bless everybody.